رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, in our previous session we did the concept of kullu jama' mu'annath. So we practiced how to use the proper na'at and using proper mubtada and khabar when you're using jam'u ghayr aqil. So here today we're going to practice how to use and get comfortable and identify na'at and differentiate between a khabar and a na'at. So let's begin with our journey for today's class. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take some sentences and try and understand how it is translated in Arabic, and from Arabic how it is translated into English. So we're trying to understand both ways. So if I say a small pen, and the small book. So what's the difference here? A small pen is an indefinite. Could be any, and the small book is a definite book. So you got a difference between a definite and indefinite statement. This is not a sentence, it is just like a part of a sentence. So if we have to say in Arabic, what would you say? We say qalamun saghirun. Qalamun means a pen. So we have to have like a small pen means saghirun. So in Arabic the na'at will come after the man'ut, whereas in English the na'at comes before the man'ut. So if you have to literally translate it with saghirun qalamun, but in Arabic we will say qalamun saghirun. Wal kitabu, because it is a definite, so we use the definite article al, and we say wal kitabu saghiru, the small book. If you see here, the na'at and man'ut will match in all the aspects, in number, status, gender and type. So that's what you have to look for. If you have to make it like a sentence, if you would say pen is small, this is qalamun al qalamu saghirun, the pen is small. This will be a complete sentence, but we are just telling part of sentence, qalamu saghirun wal kitabu saghiru. So if I give another example, the old house and a new door. See, so al baytul qadimu, because it's a definite, al baytu al qadimu, al baytul qadimu, and a new door, and it's indefinite, wa babun jadidun. So this is how we need to identify how the na'at and man'ut comes together. So this is not a sentence, this is just a part of a sentence. So we still had to bring in news if you had to make a full sentence. So let's do some more example now. So the tall boy and a short girl. So the boy will be al-waladu, and the tall, then we have to bring a na'at. So at-tawilu, because it's a definite, so we'll say al-waladu at-tawilu, al-waladu at-tawilu, because it's huruf shams. Wa, and a short girl is indefinite, so we'll be bintun qasiratun. So why we have ta marbuta here? Because it is bintun is muannath, so we have muannath na'at qasiratun. So this is how it matches. So the tall girl and the small boy. So the girl is al bintu, because it's definite, so we'll get al bintu tawilatu wal waladu saghiru. Yes, so both of them are here definite. An old chair and a long desk. So chair is al kursi, and it is indefinite, so we say kursiyun qadimun, old chair. So this is how we write, but we translate it as first naat and then man'ut. So desk is maktabun, so we have to make long desk. We say maktabun tawilun. So we don't have a and an in Arabic, so just depending whether it has al or without al, that gives us an indication that it is definite or an indefinite noun. So again, the small room in and in the small school. So let's say room is ghurfa. Small means you have to bring a naat. So al ghurfatu saghiratu. So why we have saghiratu? Because it is ghurfatu ta marbuta. It has to match in gender in all the aspects. And say in the small school, then we have to use, if you see here, because it is a marfu, because man'ut is marfu, naat is marfu. Here we are trying to show that man'ut is majrur because the naat is majrur because man'ut is majrur. So fil madrasatis saghirati, in the small school. An old house and in the new school. House is baytun qadimun, old. And the new school, so first you write school, fil madrasatil, and then you write new, al jadidati. A big knife and the long key. So what you write man'ut, knife is sikkin, knife means sikkin. Because it's indefinite so you just write sikkinun kabirun, big is kabirun. Wal miftahu, because the is definite article, so we say al miftahu tawilu. So this is how we read and write naat and man'ut. So it matches in all the aspects. Some more practice there. The big room and on the big mountain. So if you say room, al ghurfatu, and kabiru is big. So al ghurfatul kabiratu. So ta marbuta because to match the man'ut. And on the big mountains, ala al jabali al kabiri, ala al jabalil kabiri, upon the big mountain. On the short boy from an old friend. So you say ala al waladil qasiri. The boy is walad and qasir is small, so it has to match. Min, and from an old friend, so it's an indefinite. So it's a friend, right first. So we have min harf jar, sadiqin ism majroor, and qadimin is naat. Min sadiqin qadimin, from old friend. So how do you write the big book? Now if you see here, is, when you see an is, that means the part after is khabar. So now we got a mubtada and khabar, so it is a complete sentence. So how do we make a complete sentence? So we know mubtada is definite, the big book. So we'll say, how do you say, first you write book, al kitabul kabiru, al kitabu al kabiru, ala, and the small desk, al maktabis saghiri, upon the small desk. So now we have a full sentence here. So here al kabiru and ala, they are not joined together. So where there is a disconnection, that is where we can put is, and we can make differentiate between the part which is mubtada and the part which is where the khabar starts. Okay, let's do some example. Like Hamid is in the big house and Khadija is in old car. So first bring Hamid. Hamidun fil baytil kabiri, is in the big house. Wa Khadijatu fi sayyaratil qadimati, is in the old car. So the pen is on the new desk. So I would say al qalamu ala. So there's no connection between al qalam and ala. So we got mubtada and khabar. It is ala is harf jar, so we have ism majroor. So here ism majroor is desk, and this is naat. So we put ism majroor first, alal maktabi, and new is jadid. So we'll say alal maktabil jadidi. Al qalamu alal maktabil jadidi wal kitabu ala kursil qadimi. So this is how we practice naat and man'ut. So identify which is mubtada, which is khabar, and which is naat. How to identify naat and manut? So inshallah, you write this and practice. So now we will be moving on to our next session to understand duals. So we know each noun in Arabic will be in 3 conditions in terms of number. So we have single, singular, and we have dual, and then we have plurals. So in Arabic, the plural starts from 3, not from 2. So there is a complete separate signs and writing patterns to understand the duals. It's very easy and it is very good, subhanallah. So let's go to our marfu, mansoob, majroor business. So we know that in a singular nouns and in nouns which are not jamu aqil, so we have sign of marfu is damma or dammatain, or fatha, fathatain, kasra, and kasratain for majroor. So we know marfu, mansoob, and majroor, how the noun is identified, which is a subject, which is an object, and which is a ism majroor. And we've learned in that it is muslimun. For example, it's muslimun, musliman, and muslimin. So marfu, mansoob, and majroor forms. So we know that Jama Muzakkar Salim, how do we make it? So in Salim nouns, for Muslimun, we'll put una, waw and noon to make it marfu, where the sign of marfu is waw, and Muslimina is majroor form, mansoob and majroor form. So we know how to identify is we look the word, what comes in front of it. And the sign of mansoob or majroor is al-ya'u. It's mansoob and majroor. So when we see ya, then we know it is mansoob or majroor. When we see waw, so we know it is marfu. So how do we make dual? So if we have muslimun, so how do we say 2 Muslims? It's a very simple way. It does, the duals follow the pattern of Jama Mudhakkar Salim, where we have waw and noon to say it is plural. For the duals, we have got what is called muslimani. So what did we add? Muslimani. So we added alif and noon. When you see this alif and noon with kasra, ani, that means it's 2. And how do we know it's marfu? We know in muslimuna, waw is the sign of marfu. So how do we know if this muslimani is marfu? I think you got it. We don't see at the noon, we see a word before noon. So what do we see here? We see alif. So alif is the sign of marfu. So if we see alif, we know that it is replaced by dhamma. So muslimun is marfu. So muslimani is marfu. 2 Muslims. So you know muslimun, it is plurals. More than 2 is muslimuna. And what we added here? We added waw and noon. And waw is a sign of marfu. So how do we make muslimun a sign of, like musliman is mansoob. So how do we make 2 Muslims a noun which is a mansoob? How do we know if it is mansoob? So it is very simple. It is muslimaini. Muslimaini. So what did we add here? For Muslim, we added ya and noon with kasra. Ya and noon with kasra. Muslimaini. So here, ya is the sign of mansoob. And how do we make Muslim and the mansoob for the plural noun? It is muslimina. So sometimes it can be confusing, but it's very easy. Ya and noon with kasra is dual. 2. Ya with noon with fatha is plural. And the word before it will be having fatha and kasra. For example, muslimaini and muslimina. See, aini and ina. So when you say aini, it is dual, and ina means plural. So that is a sign of it is plural, and ya tells us that it is mansoob. So if you want to say Muslimin, Majroor form, so how do we say two Muslims in a Majroor form? We will say Muslimaini again. So duals and plurals, they follow the same pattern. So where Mansoob and Majroor are exactly the same, so we will identify depending on the word which comes in front of it. So here, Ya and Noon with Kasra is added, and Ya is the sign of Majroor, Muslimaini. So if it is a plural noun, for example, Muslimin, if it is plural, we'll say Muslimina, Muslimina. And here, Ya and Noon is a sign of Majroor, and Ya is the where we say it is a Majroor form. So we're gonna do a lot of practice with the nouns just so that we get familiar with these nouns. For example, Mu'minun, we'll say Mu'minani, two believers. Mu'minun is believer, we'll say Mu'minani. And Alif and Noon is a sign of Marfu. And Mu'minun for a plural form, we'll say Mu'minuna. Say Mu'minani, Mu'minuna. And Waw and Noon is added. So we say Mu'minan, Mansoob form, we'll say Mu'minaini, Mu'minaini. So you have to listen to the sound Aini. When you say Aini, that means it's 12. So Ya and Noon is added. Ya is a sign of Mansoob and Majroor. So Mu'minan for the plurals, we'll say Mu'minina. So Ya and Noon with Fatha. So Noon with Fatha and Noon with Kasra will tell you whether it is dual or it is plural. And Alif and Waw is the sign of Marfu, and Ya is sign of Mansoob and Majroor. So if you say again Mu'minin, it's Majroor form. So we'll say Mu'minaini. Again Ya Noon with Kasra. And for the plural form Mu'minin, we have Mu'minina, Noon with Fatha. So it is Ya and Noon again. So it's another noun. See, Kadhibun is liar. So two liars, Kadhibani. And Alif and Noon is added. Kadhibun for plural form is Kadhibuna. So how do we say Mansoob? Kadhibaini. And plural form Kadhibina. Aini and Ina. So we have Kadhibin, again Kadhibaini, and plural form Kadhibina. So let's practice some more. Mudarrisun. We have Mudarrisun. Mudarrisan is a normal word, singular. We have Mudarrisun, Mudarrisan, and Mudarrisin. So how do we make duals? Say Mudarrisani, Mudarrisaini, Mudarrisaini. So how do we make plurals? Mudarrisuna, Mudarrisina, Mudarrisina. So this is how we make Mansoob and Majroor form. It's quite easy. So now you make by yourself Muhandisun, Muhandisan, Muhandisin. How do we make duals? Right, Mansoob and Majroor. Good. Muhandisani, Muhandisaini, Muhandisaini. And how do we make plurals? Good. Good. Muhandisuna, Muhandisina, Muhandisina. So we have to look for the Noon with Fatha comes for the plural, and the sound Ina is plural, and Aini, Ani and Aini is duals, and Una and Ina is plural. So when you have a noun ending with Una, you know it is Marfu, plurals, and we have a noun with Ani, we know it is duals, Marfu, and Aini is Mansoob, Majroor. So Kafirun will be Kafirani, Kafiraini, Kafiraini, Kafiruna, Kafirina, Kafirina. So Fasiqun, Fasiqan, Fasiqin. So we have Fasiqani, Fasiqaini, Fasiqaini, and Fasiquna, Fasiqina, Fasiqina. So this is the Muzakkar form. So we'll just quickly do the Muannath form as well. So we are done with the duals. So if we want to say Muslimatun, so how do we say two Muslims? The same rule, Alif and Noon. So we will make it like Muslimatani. So after Ta, when word is added to ta marbuta, it becomes ta maftuha. So it becomes regular ta, and we will add ani. So muslima tani. So alif and noon is a sign of marfu. And muslimatun for the jama' muannath salim. So you will add a and tun, muslimatun. You open your mouth, muslimatun. So a and tun, ta with damma will tell us whether it is marfu. And how do we say mansoob form? Muslimatan will be muslimataini. See again, aini. So when you have a ta, we know it is a feminine noun, muslimataini. So ya and noon with kasra. So it tells, ya tells us whether it is mansoob. So how do we make jama' muannath salim? Muslimatin. So ta with kasra. So even if it is kasra here, but we know it is atin is mansoob form. So there is no fatha here, there is kasra, but still it is mansoob form. So this ta will tell us, with fatha will tell us it is mansoob. And same thing for muslimatin, majroor form, muslimataini. Muslimataini. If it was muslimun, it will be muslimaini, and muslimatin will be muslimataini. So muslimatin for jama' muannath salim, muslimatin. So again same mansoob and majroor forms. So depending on the word before, we will know whether it is mansoob or majroor. So let's say mu'minatun, mu'minatani, mu'minatun and mu'minatun. So let's say mu'minatan will be mu'minataini, dual. So ya and noon with kasra. And mu'minatan plural form will be mu'minatin. Mu'minatin. So a and ta with fatha, kasra. So we say mu'minatin will be mu'minataini, and plural form will be mu'minatin. So we had kadhibatun, liar, female liar. Then we have to say dual, it will be kadhibatani, and the plural form will be kadhibatun. So kadhibatan will be kadhibataini and kadhibatin. And kadhibatin majroor form will be kadhibataini and kadhibatin. So same thing here, mudarrisatun, mudarrisatan, mudarrisatin. How do we write in dual forms? Mudarrisatani, mudarrisataini, mudarrisataini. And plural form will be mudarrisatun, mudarrisatin, mudarrisatin. Muhandisatun. So you have to tell by yourself. So how will be dual forms? Marfu form, muhandisatani, muhandisataini, muhandisataini. And jama' muannath salim, muhandisatun, muhandisatin, muhandisatin. So kafiratun, kafiratan, kafiratin. So we have kafiratani, kafirataini, kafirataini. So jama' muannath salim. So duals are called musanna, and this is jama' muannath salim, kafiratun, kafiratin, kafiratin. So fasiqatun will be fasiqatan, fasiqatin, fasiqatani, fasiqataini, fasiqataini. So fasiqatun, fasiqatin, fasiqatin. So this is how you make duals and plurals. So inshallah we will start using these nouns in our next lesson. So this is just to introduce how do we make two. If you take any noun and put alif and noon, so that becomes two. For example, qalamun, you say qalamani, qalamaini, qalamaini. So any noun, even for ismul ishara, if it's hadha, we say hadani, means two of these, hadaini. And so waladun, so waladani, waladaini. So we got walidan, walidaini, walidaini. So now we know walidain means two. It's two parents. So this is how we understand. So inshallah, so we'll practice more again and we'll understand these nouns. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.